Well, we've planted 3 separate rows of green beans outside this year, and due to the extreme wet weather, we've lost all 3 of them. So we have a small area right along the edge of our number 4 greenhouse, and so I put down a water line right next to the edge and dug a trench to put the beans in, and I had to cover it back up, and at least we'll have some beans, I think, to be able to have to eat in the can. We have cucumbers growing up here, and my wife's concerned about them getting over into the green beans. I'm not really that concerned because they will grow up to the line, and by the time they get coming over here, our green beans may be mature enough that they'll be picked. They may get over here, but if they do, we just have to place them back over into the row. Well, if it's too tight to work in here after the beans mature, we do have the side opening, and we can pick them through there, because when we pick green beans, we pull the plants and pick everything. And so that'll be, we can get them picked, because we don't have to crowd around and stuff too much. We've planted beans in the greenhouse before, and we thought it helped a lot to keep the insects out of them and to keep the rain and the wind from beating them down. One possible disadvantage that we think is the fact that since the wind doesn't hit them to make them strengthen their stems, sometimes they might fall over a little quicker, and then you got to pick them up. But we always just pick our beans one time. We let them grow till they have a good average size, and then we pull the plants, put them on the table, and pick them and replant. That's what we need to do. One thing on planting beans is you never want to plant them over 1 inch deep, because if you do, you're running quite a risk of the beans getting trapped in the ground from rain and so forth. And so that's something very important. And you never leave if you're planting outside, you don't want to leave a ditch where the beans are either, because if it rains, then you've got a problem. Because if it rains before the beans come up, the ditch will fill in with dirt, and the water will stand there, and you lose your beans before they come up. And that's what happened to us this year. It rained almost immediately, and it just covered them up too deep and drowned them. Well, I ran a water line for this row, but right on the edge of this house, as much rain as we have, the soil is pretty wet, so I'm not going to run that water line yet, but as soon as it dries up, of course, it'll be available to turn on. And statewide, and in fact, central United States, cropland is so wet this year, I think it's going to be pretty short on produce. But we'll plant these, and if it dries up, well, we will plant several rows more of green beans outside. We like to rotate them so we have beans for several months. And so, but it's got to quit raining before we can do that. But today looks good. The sun is shining, but the weather person said it's going to have showers, so I don't know. We'll just wait and see. Thanks for joining us here at Neil's Homestead. See you later.